Hello and welcome to my latest video. In this video, I talk about a situation I was in involving a friend of mine whose name will be changed to protect her identity. She will be named Mary. It's also a reference to the type of character that appears in bad fan fiction or bad fiction in general. The infamous Mary Sue. Now, Mary and I have been best friends since elementary school. Things had changed once we were in middle school, but to make it brief, Mary had a different set of friends that did not want to be around my clingy ass, who didn't know how to be a friend. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes your past self is a detestable person that annoys everyone around you, despite the fact you want friends and admittedly you are a jerk to everyone. Anyway, around lunchtime in middle school, Mary and I had conversations, and I remember her coming up with a brilliant idea. Brilliant to two 12-year-old weeaboos. To collaborate on an idea for a manga that we titled Onisuzu.
Because Japanese names are so sugoi.
With Mary as the writer and me as the artist. I can't recall much of what Mary had in mind because Mary had the script in her head. In other words, it wasn't real to begin with. All I can remember is the main character is Sonia, named after the Sonic Underground character and Sonic the Hedgehog's sister, a Bishonen named Hematite, named after a bracelet Mary owned, and not after a Sailor Moon villain, but maybe she might have gotten it from there too, and another Bishonen named Magnetite. Dear Naoko Takeuchi, please don't sue us. We were 12. There were other characters, but all I can remember is Sonia, Hematite, and Magnetite, and they were all involved in some bullshit love triangle that you'd normally see in shoujo manga. Think Peach Girl or Paradise Kiss. As I tried to get a script from Mary, it was like pulling teeth. In a collaboration between a writer and an artist, you need to give the artist a script. A script is important to a writer so they could be able to make their magic when making the comic. Without a script, there is no comic. Could Stan Lee and Jack Kirby work without a script? I mean, this worked for Harvey Pekar, creator of American Splendor. But Harvey drew stick figures and got help from outside sources. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby could not work on their comics without a script, and they were on a tight deadline and Marvel was paying their bills. Mary expected me to be like Raz from Psychonauts and venture into her brain to look for this script that probably doesn't exist. And I'd be attacked by the common enemies of the world of Psychonauts by the censors, shouting, "Now!" as they rushed to attack me for being in Mary's brain. Mary thought we could work on this thing by playing guessing games, and it does not work like that. This wasn't the worst part of the collaborative effort. The worst part is what I'm illustrating here. Mary wanted to replace me as the artist because she found a better artist than me, and she flat out said so, over the phone. This hurt me so much despite this being two kids having a beef over a stupid comic idea. One of my friends who was outside of this situation had stated that to Mary, anyone is replaceable. I realized that is how the industry in animation or comics is, and that's depressing. But Mary was my best friend, and she wasn't some CEO to a comic publishing company. She was a 12-year-old girl with a big ego, bad attitude, and was a brat that thought she deserved everything. I know I was no angel either, but this is not how a friendship is supposed to be. In retrospect, with me and Mary looking at this situation at nearly 30 years old, we both realize how stupid this was. We haven't collaborated on anything like this since, partially due to what had happened. And Mary and I already roleplay from time to time involving fandoms we're both in, being Kingdom Hearts or Shaolin Showdown, and it's better this way. I don't know if I could say there's a moral here to give my tiny fan base of preteens that happen to watch videos like this. The best advice I could give is to learn how to make comics properly, comics or manga the proper way, and there are many good how-to videos that I wish I had as a preteen, such as Lisbeth Jimenez's My Mangaka Life here on YouTube, amongst many others that teach you their crafts in making sequential art. Also, when collaborating with a friend, make sure they know what they're doing and they have a script and everything ready. I learned this lesson the hard way twice because I'm a glutton for punishment. I'd rather save that other story for another time because that story was way uglier than my incident with Mary. At least we're still friends in the end. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day.